Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
What up? Morning, everybody. How you doing? This is Friday the 13th, lucky episode of the Real Nomics. Our going theme today is patience. Courtesy of the disciples, they felt it was important for you guys to learn about patience in markets today. So we'll talk a little bit about that. How's your guys' week been? How's markets treated? It's been a little crazy. It's been a little choppy. Back and forth as we bleed off from the event of the election and the aftermath. Patience, indeed. Oh, good week. Good to see you, Mal. How about everybody else? Only Mal having a good week? Tell me some of your successes, some of your follies, questions, concerns. Throw some things in there. Let's have a conversation. Paying attention, indeed, Vito. Patience, my friend. Don't rush into anything crazy. We do need that track, Biggie Smalls, but they'll fucking ban me, fool. I can't do it. But yeah, hell yeah, that's a fire track. You see that right there? Check out that Nas, Damian Marley album. That shit's fire. One of the most underrated fucking collabs ever. Don't know why, man. Those are two great artists that came together and never did shit in USA. What is this? I can't see shit. What the fuck is that? I never believe this blue light running through this fucking lens makes it impossible to see shit in the dark, but it does. Yep, Neo's been crazy. Xpeng. All my gains are Neo. Well, that's interesting in many directions. Baba murdered you, but still a good week. Goddamn Chinese regulations. Lack thereof, and, possibly being some. That's the problem. They don't have enough regulations. Palantir. Right on. What about Palantir? You just want to take a look at it? Just dropping symbols. Good morning, Leon. Holy shit. Everybody, it's a game changer. Now, what's up, buddy? It's good to have you back. Your level's been quite the feature these last few months. Having a good week, as always. Thanks for keeping us on the right side of things. You are most welcome, Philadelphian. Could you check FUTU and DKing fractal? Is it a fractal? Let's just say check them, and if they are, we'll talk about that. Spect on the bits, Philly. Appreciate you, sir. Winternomics, what is your suggestion for percent risk per trade for account balances that must include brokerage fees? I don't. That's specific to you guys. I can't determine that for you, man. It's about your risk tolerance. Some people will use 1% of their account. Some people are 0.5%, some people 0.1, some people 2. It's different. If I had to put a threshold on, I wouldn't say if you're a newbie to go anywhere over more than 2% per trade on your account. But you need to. It's all about statistics and managing your stats. So you kind of start on the small end and figure out what your hit rates are and things like that. The statistics have to make sense. You can't go broke in a drought, and you're gonna have variances that you have to pay attention to. When you're going bad skids. Even if you're let's say you hit half of everything you take, right. Let's just say you're 50%. Everything you take, you're gonna hit 1 out of 2. You can still have a draw where you miss 7 plays in a row, 10 plays in a row. And, the statistics over time will work out that you're 50% accurate, but you can have draws where you're having a statistical draw, in your total body of data where you're on a bad skid. And so if you're betting too much per play, you'll fucking run out of money before you have the statistics work in your favor. So some food for thought on that, but I can't determine for you exactly what you should do. What I think is a better long-term investment? This is not financial advice. We just talk about ideas here. So I don't advise you in your financial investments, the way you put that. But I will look at the macros of some of those things, and I talk about what I think about they're going to do, but you make that decision ultimately. So understand, I cannot legally give you financial advice. We discuss markets and concepts through the way that I view markets, and discuss fundamentals of the sentiments that are in the marketplace. But none of this is financial advice. This is information that adds to your body of information for you to make more informed decisions. But this is not for me to recommend what goes in your portfolio. That's not how this works. Henry, been waiting on PS5 since PS4 released. So don't. Yeah, they got these bot armies buying out the PS5. Apparently, nobody can get their fucking hands on one. It doesn't matter if it's Walmart or whatever. They're selling out in a second that you put them in your shopping cart. You can't finish a transaction before they're out of stock. My son was telling me about this, that he knows people who create these bots, and it's the reason why you can't get the NVIDIA graphics cards or anything like that. These websites allow these bot armies to basically just fucking take everything down and then flip them back up on resale sites like StockX, and then fucking make a markup. And it helps to drive. I think they allow it because it helps to drive the FOMO in the crowd when everybody can just knock out something that has that high demand. Let's see. So, yeah, I know. There are PS5s out there, all right? This site right here, StockX, these guys are where people FOMO out stuff and then they resell it over here. So the PS5s are going over here for fucking, damn near 900, 870. But, this secondary market allows people to buy out and resell stuff like this. I think it probably helps them, Yeezys and shit like that, and rare clothing and sneakers and shit that go on this site. It's pretty interesting site that I've, just become familiar with. Biggie Smalls actually tipped me off this a little while ago, and I've just really been looking into it more lately and becoming accustomed to it. But like, it's an interesting secondary market that helps the brand out. It fucking helps drive the FOMO when people can see that this fucking PlayStation is trading at what the hell, did it go for $1? It just moved $1. Yeah, when people can see, these systems trading here, it only increases the FOMO. Like, holy shit, this thing's got to be something. So it's pretty interesting. But this is pretty much, I don't know what just happened there. Not coming up. Don't know what's going on there. See if this one comes up. Maybe it's having a loading problem. Not sure what it's doing. Or my color thing's doing something weird. I don't get what's going on there. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But this is where you can find them right now. Otherwise, I think you're not going to be able to get anything until next year. I think Sony's not shipping anymore until fucking next year. So like, this is going to be some real crazy FOMO until fucking Christmas for people doing this in the secondary markets. Yeah, Nvidia, eBay, and these guys basically compete in this marketplace. Yep, scarcity creates value is a function of scarcity and utility. So if it's valuable and it's scarce, there's naturally demand for it. What's up, East T? Appreciate you on the bits, homie. The PS5 struggle is real. That's funny. Can you really get prosecuted and sued in the U.S. if you don't mention this is not financial advice? I don't know if you specifically have to say that, but if you construe it as financial advice and you basically imitate a financial advisor and do it like, deceptively, that's prosecutable. So making that statement, like, makes it clear that that's not what it is. So, but yeah, the U.S. has crazy rules about that. So then you got a new site to go play with. They got all kinds of crazy stuff on this place. I am not, I'm an old man, so this stuff is probably your generation knows this better than me. But I've just become accustomed to this stuff. I know about like rare Jordans and shit selling all crazy, but there's really crazy things on here that like you can't believe the fucking prices of these things. Lots of collectible stuff that I'm just kind of getting myself wrapped around. But this is kind of like the tokenized it world, right? Like making a market out of all things, and people are trading everything like you trade fucking stocks or crypto. This site is pretty much created a marketplace out of all things. It's really dope. Kat, let me know if you want one. I got the plug. Oh, don't worry, I got the plug too. I already got mine. That says y'all that got the plug. No, I'm playing. I don't have that PS5 jitter, son. But yeah, for all the rest of you, it's gonna be a fucking nightmare out there. And for my homie that locked me down, appreciate you, kid. That shit's crazy. It's crazy out in these streets getting that PS5. Bought my first Yeezys on StockX. Even comes with a green StockX tag. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm just like getting familiar with the site. Do I have that stupid I must have that stupid thing on. It doesn't look right. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, well, I don't want this shit that bright anyway. But yeah, go play with it. It's a dope site. So, checking out YouTube. About time to put another archive video public over here. It's been a while since I dropped one. Winter After Dark, Dust from Dawn it's been a while, 3 weeks ago. So, I need to add a new video up here, and you guys have been taking such great notes. So, here's the wall of archives that we have. Some of these are still up there, obviously. I think this One Wish is going to vanish soon. We'll tell you, the 13th. It's got 2 more days. So something before, let's see. Those are all November. So Say Cheese and back. All the way back here. You guys think about which ones. There's Winter After Dark that we did. So any of these ones that you can remember from Driftwood to 20 Bomb, all these. 20 Bomb was badass. You remember how many fucking charts we went through in there? Figure out which one of these between Say Cheese, Dump Day, Homestretch, 20 Bomb, and Driftwood, if you guys can remember what's in these, that you'd like to go public with. Or something much, much older that's not public that you see here, and let me know, and we'll pick one to turn on public that you guys can go and rewatch, from the archive. $20 Bomb was fire, yeah. 20 Bomb. You guys said 2 votes for 20 Bomb? Okay. I might have to throw some bits of one of these shows and let me know which one you want to vote up. So, all right, think about that one, and then we'll go check out some things. Somebody mentioned Palantir. This is Palantir. I actually had them on my screen. It's funny that you mentioned that. So, you guys, we talked about this as an IPO, and we didn't have much data when we looked at it, but he had pretty good structure, right? To potentially rising floor. He was at this point when we did the show. I think if anybody can remember which show we did this one in, that'd be a good one to pull up and kind of look at it. But we did him with the potential of a box range here as he's heading here. He stalled, pulled back, and he did the flag over here. This is what we're looking for, bull flag, right? He got through here. He didn't box range the level, but he did the flag, and then he blew up. So if you kept tabs on this guy, it was a pretty clean play the way he took out the level. It was a clean break, sustained the break like we always talk about. And you don't want to see him like going all back and forth across the level. That means he's just cutting people's balls off. Or tits, We know that we have girl and guy traders, don't want to leave you out there. So, whoops. We get it. The fucking blue thing. Just there. Flag. So, yeah, he took off. He looks pretty good. He's a little gap down now. Now that he's in this huge climax, you want to see him probably, like, structure out here a little bit. Got this nice stop run and then a climax. So, see what he does. He's going to have to establish something in this range. So, he doesn't have enough detail right now to do much with this. Really volatile oscillation. And, we talk about that. That's, likely to bleed off some energy. That's the worst shockwave I've ever drawn. Oh my god. But yeah, he's going to narrow or something. In some range. We don't know exactly where, but we're going to let him develop. Shockwaves. Yeah. I think let's talk about, I had said last night I might name this show Shockwave, but that's like my favorite transformer and I couldn't do it. Got a nice play on this, ML. Dump day content. Oh, cool, man. Good shit. Good play. This is a nice clean chart to talk about this. So I need to get... What can I do with that? 20 bomb. Damn. Nobody's even asking for any of the other shows. Were the other ones terrible? The Oracle of Jamaica show. You went way back, son. That was the only maskless show. Config Test Mobile is dope. That one's public, yep. Too difficult to choose. Well, I only gave you a couple in that set, if you can remember what was each of them. But 20 bomb, like, there was so much shit in that fucking show that we packed into before we signed off. It was pretty good. A lot of good plays came out of that one. So, my video on... What the hell? My video for Twitch just went out. You guys still see me, right? This is so crazy. Alright, I gotta reload this page. I can't see shit now. One sec. So, 20 bomb, I seen it. I gotta reload the... One sec. Fucker. Stop nuking my feed, motherfucker. Shout out to Bit Sequencing and Jezebel. Appreciate you guys. Okay, there it goes. Now I can see. Alright, so... Let's talk about this, right? I have it in, I wonder if I can see it, my archive in this thing. Let's see, does it let me see this? Save pictures. So, I put this in here before. These little things, right? And I tell people who are new, go back through my Instagram, and not just way back in time. I put clues about thought process, structure, ideas in almost all my posts. I really don't waste time posting bullshit, some humor in there, but most of what I post is about the way you think and, and looking at price. This back here, these little hyper-colored ones, so they'd stick out and they're pretty cool looking. And this basically gives you three major things you need to understand, right? What is a shockwave? That's what a shockwave is. Right? The shockwave by any other name is still a shockwave. It is just a harmonic oscillation showing like a pattern of like high energy bleeding off to low energy. Kind of like a seismographic reading, right? Like you have the seismographic like hit of the earthquake and then all the aftershocks and energy bleeding away. People mimic, these patterns in their behaviors too. It's not limited to fucking like, seismographic reading and registering energy. It's a pattern that's throughout behaviors too. So in looking at it, right, whenever we have high volatility, it always begets low volatility. That's the natural, exchange that we have. And high volatility we know is emotional. Low volatility is where your smart money operates. So whenever you have really explosive moves in markets, you tend to have everybody who wasn't paying attention show up and go, oh my God, I got to get my piece. And that's exactly when you go from high volatility to low volatility and destroy all those people who then become the new position built within the range, who then get marked up again, right? We call this a localized monopoly of perception. So you have to be patient. When you've missed a very explosive move, you need to wait around so you can actually see a structure that gives you a chance to get into yet another explosive move. It's very dangerous to go chasing, parabolic moves for that reason. That's why people get caught in bull markets and the tops of climaxes, because they really weren't sure until everybody else was sure. And when everybody else is sure, the trajectory of the price is fucking vertical, because it's a function of the rate of demand over supply that creates that parabolic arc. So patience is a virtue, which is why we named the show Patience. The shockwave can lean. It can lean in directions. So this is what this is about, right? A shockwave by any other name. So this is a bullish or bull flag shockwave and a bear flag shockwave. But they're the same thing. So this is just to help you understand a range that volume can be aggregated, a localized monopoly of perception that can be marked up or marked down. So rather than draw it all out here really shitty, I forgot to show you the one I already made. But yeah, you can go back in here and it's whatever the date is. Let's see. And then trends. Basic rules of trends, right? And understanding that trends are built of markups from localized monopolies of perception, shockwaves, and they are nothing more than shockwaves in series, right? So very basic descriptions to kind of like, for anybody that's like super new, look at all the platforms, because I put stuff in there that will help you in everything. And like I told people, I don't have a paywall for my stuff, but I'm going to make you fucking spend some time to look for it, you know what I mean? Pinterest, somebody asked me in the last show and I forgot you, so I'll go there today and do that one too. I gotta watch what pops up on my Pinterest. I got some shit on here. Alright, we'll come back to that guy if I can check before I fucking throw a big old titty on the page or something by accident. So yeah, my different platforms, I stick stuff everywhere that I think is interesting and worth looking at. Just take some time to go through it and you'll find all kinds of interesting things. You look back at stuff like this, it gives you ideas of the market sentiment at the time. Even though it's historical, you might not find value in it. When you go back and look at when this was posted and what was going on in the marketplace and what ultimately occurred, it helps to kind of like give you like context to the history of the market, because I keep track of markets this way. So, yeah. So that's just the safe stuff. So there's all kinds of interesting stuff in here. Anyways, that being said on that, we'll go to Pinterest in a little bit. So shockwaves, come after high volatility situations. So much like, this thing. This is a high volatility situation, right? And it will trap somebody who's like, oh my gosh, this Palantir is leaving me, and ultimately create a place to fucking create a localized monopoly and then mark up again. Where the heck is my VPVR here? Am I crazy? Why is that on? Okay, that was weird. Does it do that? Oh, that's so weird. Right, and then you get these localized monopolies, right? It creates concentrations of volume. So that's what you can mark up. You have to have something to mark up. You can't just keep ripping and ripping and ripping. There has to be a position established that you're ripping from. So this will create a system, something like this, at a much obviously larger amplitude, but it needs time to like get set for something else like what you saw here. It's a bigger scale version of the rip, so be it, but give it its time. Perspective matters, context matters, all of that. So let's see. Pinterest is the bomb, okay? Oh, appreciate you, homie. Could you look at McAfee IPO fractal? And you guys keep sticking the word fractal after everything. Does it make it a fractal if you keep just adding that word? And I'm not sure, McAfee IPO fractal? I'm not sure, McAfee even on here? Yeah, don't just add the word fractal. That, like, doesn't mean anything. Like, what's it a fractal of? That looks like shit. But, this would need more time to recover, and just like Palantir, I would probably wait till he gives me something down here to care about. For now, like, you'd wait for that to see what he does if he gets up there, but this looks like asshole. And everything to do with McAfee looks like asshole. So, but anyways. So let's see. Could you upload Money Move and Money Move, the chosen one? I have to look that up where that one's at. That's an oldie, right? Money Move? That's like last year sometime, I think. Cyber related. I don't even know what fractal even means. Well, that means you need to go to my website and read about what fractals are, because I have a blog post that will teach you that. So all those links I put on my Insta on every post so that's one of the funny things. Before that turns on, right? Let me teach you guys. So if I don't say stuff, I know people don't actually use it. Let's do this. When you see this show posted, right? You see the stuff underneath it. This is the links to everything you could ever fucking want. And you could spend fucking weeks, if not months, going through the stuff that is public on all this shit before you ever catch up to what's going on in the live shows. Blogs, a year's worth of research. My trading view's got public stuff across time that's really crazy, still useful now. Facebook has archive charts from fucking half a decade ago in it if you go looking through it. YouTube has much older shows and like specials and CNBC and shit like that all kinds of stuff that can teach you stuff across time that I've laid out there. You just have to spend some time to do it. Just because it's not sitting in front of you and not for you to just reach out and grab doesn't mean you can't go and look for it. That's why we just talked about this. All this stuff has crazy stuff. Many of you've never sat down and watched where is it? Infinity Crisis TA. Because you think it's just gaming. There's tons of shit in all these shows back here that's every bit as valuable. A 4-hour show, you can't imagine there wasn't anything in here but gaming in 4 hours. We just didn't stick it in the front end of the show. We made sure you have to pay attention to it. So you go skimming through our shows, you go miss some shit. But yeah, see this guy down here? We teach you about shockwaves back here. This is 2 fucking years ago. Large cap baskets and talking about baskets and crypto and things like that. There's tons of shit back here, So as far as the amount of hours worth of shows that are back here, it's a couple seasons worth of shows. If you're watching anything on Amazon Prime, you could spend a lot of time in the old stuff while you're still catching up with the new stuff, So just because it's not currently dated doesn't mean it's not still useful to you to go check out. $100 Thieves and Counting stream. That's a good one too. 1,000 bits for the fractal. Appreciate you, server. Money Move Show. Yeah, there are people around right now that have been in our Telegram and stuff, and they're like, what's cash cycle? If you're here watching this show and haven't actually watched any of these, you're doing the station and brand a disservice. This is where fucking Bitcoin's pump comes from. Cash Cycle 1 is the fucking show. TA, the fundamental versus technical analysis show. You've got $1 billion fund manager here talking about this in Cash Cycle 2. I would hope you watch these. These are we do these specials just when the timing's right, but these are some really cool shows to check out, the past shows. But yeah, some of these old stuff, definitely check them out. If you're lazy and you're on my website, just go to this page. It's really easy. I made life really simple for you. Everything that you want to catch up on, from the CNBC spot to fucking duo shows and things like that, all archived are back here. Some of the bigger shows. Cash cycles are all on here and stuff like that. And even some stuff that could actually give you some insights about price action if you go take a look. But you just fish around the blog. There's no paywall for anything. You can go read anything you want here. You can go watch any shows you want here. You can look at archive before and afters on here. And it's all for you to do, but you have to take your time to do it. That's the only thing. You have to do something. All right. So lots of good stuff too. If you guys have never watched Money Masters, How Money Works, and this is the short one, Money is Debt. 2 massively, massively important videos. This video here, how does money work? Money Masters. This video, when I watched it in 2000, the first time I watched it was 2004. This is why I could call the banking crisis. From what I learned in this video and the book called The Creature from Jekyll Island, which told me how the central bank was structured, was why I could forecast the banking crisis and every single thing else since. I tell you right now, this is the single most important thing I ever fucking watched. It is the most boring fucking video ever fucking made. It is made by PBS, but the information in that video is second to none about the central bank and how financial catastrophes come about. It is literally the most important video to understanding central banking, the Federal Reserve, and the way the central banks operate. So there's your hot tip. Go watch it. This Bob Surplus convo, everybody seems to love it too. It's pretty crazy from 2015. Still relevant today. So anyways, that's enough plugging our shit. Check it out. Just spend some time. You'll learn a lot of shit. Creature from Jekyll Island is an amazing book, yeah. You can, Edward G. Griffin, you can actually, he has a lecture, it's like an hour and a half, and he basically goes through the entire book on the lecture. That's probably quicker if you want to read the book. Just, I can find it probably. Edward G. Griffin, yeah. That guy, and then it's like an hour and a half to find him on here, and he does the whole Creature of Jekyll Isle. It's quicker than reading the book. That one right there, hour and 47 minutes. Find that video. I'll throw it in the chat. Save this for later. It's a great. Better just do this and buy the book. Book will drive you out of your fucking mind. So I put in the chat. Save that and then watch it in your free time. And the book is probably the most complete, account of how the inception of the Fed worked and all of what had to happen to bring it into being. And he goes through the entire thing in this presentation. So this is your quickest way to see it, right from the author of the book. And as you know, with me, when I read the blogs to you, it's a lot better to hear the author himself, because he has some biases embedded in his book that you might not readily interpret correctly, that he will make very clear when he speaks it right to you. All right, that's that. Patience. We're getting to some analysis. So what I was talking about, like Palantir, that Shockwave thing. So we know what a Shockwave is, right? And we look at it. High volatility begets low volatility, leads to a consolidation, and then a markup comes later. So why do we want to talk about that? Let me open a different chart real quick that's not got any annotations on it. Let's do something 1 second. Get this ready for you. All right. Let's see. All right, main chart. All right, so let's check this out. So, I'll just, this has no annotations on it, and interval. Let's do an hourly. So this is Tesla and Apple, which at this current moment in time are really great stocks to kind of keep a sentiment read on the late FOMO that's coming with the tail end of this bull market that's really been running since the Obama era all the way to Trump. The FOMO to finally be in the market really only happened in the Trump era. For all of Obama's era, the bulk of people did not benefit from the stock market. What up, Izzy? Always respect the 420 shout out. I'm almost out of dank this morning. That's gonna be rough after this show. What up, Jay Mills? Appreciate you, homie. What you know about Lickle? Damn, ML, you must have really killed Palantir, son. Good grief. Appreciate you, man. 5 stacks. Got the Illmatic gift. Super hot fire. Oh, please don't be stuck. There it goes. All right, so we got these guys on here. And what we just talked about, right? You have high volatility situations that beget low volatility situations. Zoom out a little bit. You look at the length of time these guys have been in motion, right? They've been really running something fucking hella crazy. High volatility situation, you get corrections. You generally get a range that you can pay attention to do something. The reason I want you to look at this, you look at where these are coming from, 2017, 2016, I have them both at the same thing, right? They're coming from fucking the trenches and this huge run up and this massive arc of 2020, like a ridiculous markup. Now that we're up here, everybody and their mom wants a piece of these guys. In pre-split, you had a lot of Tesla Q people shitting on this company, it's a $2,000 stock that now at 400 psychologically has mind-fucked a lot of people who thought he should be lower because they think valuation is a dollar unit amount. They don't really understand value. What you see here, is you get this high volatility situation, and you begin to oscillate and bleed off energy. Which didn't mean to do that. Right, and if you look at it, it's really what's happening in both places, isn't it? And so we know what these things do. They need time, and as they dwindle, as they narrow, right, the activity drops because the people who chase this get murdered into it, right? The biggest volume comes from the highest emotional moment, As it swings back and forth, it murders everybody in both directions, your bears and your bulls. And it kills them. And that's when your volume begins to drop as playership drops, because people are getting murdered inside the Shockwave until no one wants to play. And you end up having, fully formed structure. And then once nobody wants to play, the market goes to sleep and you can move again. The market doesn't move when everybody's waiting for it. That's the way things are, right? Value is scarce, which means most people are never ready for a good idea. So no one could be all staring at this and it be a good idea. That's why you're in a Shockwave, because it's just not at this moment. So this kind of adds a little, context to these two guys, and they're really huge barometers for the tech FOMO that's been going on, right? They're just not really ready yet at all, and hence the show name Patience. As we narrow in this, right, you kind of need to step back and wait and see and say, okay, well, we know what we do when these things finally decide to fucking break out of these things, and allow it the time to do so, regardless if you have expectations it needs to move. The market's going to do whatever the fuck it wants, and you just have to be there and ready to participate and act upon what you see, and have a clear mind to be able to act. That's it. That's all you can really do with it. You can't force it to do what you think it should. You have to allow it to do what it does and be mentally flexible enough to act swiftly before most people can move from this complacency that comes from this structure. That's a memo. That's right, Mal. Memos and junk. Now that's a fractal. Stop it! Stop it with the fractals. What does allow it? I don't get that. What are we allowing? I see some. I don't get that. What register and pets? What are you guys saying right there? Allow what? I don't know what you guys are saying. Oh, why'd you guys put that in big ass block letters? I'm like, what? Did I need to fucking give somebody permission to see something? Like, what's happening? Can we relate that to off the charts? Allow life to unfold and then act swiftly when opportunity strikes? It sounds like the way you asked that question, you already knew the answer, doesn't it? Absolutely. On or off the charts, the logic's always applicable. You know that. Oh, okay. I got you. I was like, I left the call for you guys, had an inside joke. No worries. Leon is back. Right. So, all right, this is a clean one. I didn't have all the annotations of the last one. We can go back over here now. So, VIX, since we do have Mr. Leon here, sir, do you have anything to tell us about your level of interest? No, I'm kidding. So, this is Sir Leon as he manages the situation from inside the Shockwave, right? And this is the thing on Shockwave, they'll cut your balls off. You let them fucking figure their way out, play the exit. It's a lot easier, and you'll be right quicker. So now we have this situation that the VIX is hanging on to the base of the box range, which we talked about here. We drew this yellow level, and so we want to see him get through it, but he could, as we said in the Wednesday show, hang up here, and if he retraces back into the range, that can be dangerous. And sure enough, he retraced and shot up to, you guessed it, Mr. Leon. Why are you running my market, son? I just wanted TA some shit. But, so now we watch him on the base, right? Does he fucking get through this thing? He's flagging, much like this flag, a little bit larger one. And you want to see if he can punch down through that. That'll allow for, some more risk on upside to the side of the market the rotation's on. We know tech looks tired by looking at Apple and Tesla. There are pieces of it that are moving. There's oscillations in software. But, IGV, oops. Fuck's sakes, Batman, what did I just do here? Right, so as far as talking about shockwaves, right, as this thing, my God, this hood's killing me, I can't see shit. As this thing takes its time, right, we know what Apple's situation is. And let's just check Apple over here real quick. There's Apple's climax high, right, September 1st, and then you look at the whole body of software, and where Apple's top is, you kind of realize that, actually, let's see, can I do that? Control B. Okay, there's the drawing from the other chart I just copy and pasted it here, right? And really everybody's kind of, that's not right. That's not the length of what I drew. What the fuck? Let's try that again. What did it just do? Control C, delete that guy, IDV. Let's see how many things look like this craziness, right? That's really what's happening. The broad market, remember we say so goes Apple, so goes the market, right? If Apple's not ready to move, a lot of motherfuckers aren't ready to move because this is the nature of valuation. Valuation is governed by the law of substitution, and if Apple's not ready to go anywhere, the market's not ready to go anywhere. That statement makes a lot more sense when you think about it. Kapow, thank you, Leon. That should be a band hammer from Kapow in my market. No, I'm playing. How funny is that level you stated? It's never going to go away, bro. Too funny. Crypto Lars, I appreciate you, sir. Mr. Leon. Pretty much, we have to be allowed to participate in our market by Sir Leon. Blocks, damn, son. 5 stacks again. You guys are crazy. I appreciate the support for the show, man. We don't have a humongous audience, but we appreciate the guys that are here to do that. I hope you guys are benefiting as much as the stuff you throw in the show. So yeah, so let's copy the Shockwave around and let's look at a few things, right? So market top like that, it's definitely, you know, worrisome. Amazon, see where he's at. So he's blown out of there. That was one Shockwave we noted, and now this entire range is kind of suspect. There's that same September high spot, and I'm gonna paste this guy and put him at the decline from son of a bitch. So we line him up with where Apple's high was. I drew it, right? And you can see it. So I drew the wave of Apple, and you can see exactly what's really fucking happening. Everyone's kind of so like, the election's gone, vaccine is here. Okay, where's my money? Where's my money? I got to get in here. Let's go. Something's happening. And that's exactly everyone's mind state. What to buy? What to buy? There's a discount. Everything's a discount. No one's even talking about shorting the fucking market if it happens to break down. It's just like, it's gone up so much, and I don't have my piece. And where am I getting my spot in this? I got to get my piece of the pie, right? And that's the prevailing sentiment. That's the crowded trade. That's the emotions that are inside Shockwaves, you know? It's when nobody fucking thinks shit's happening that you fucking need to pay attention. But when everybody's fucking, you know, at the ready, that's generally the moment you got to pull back. Like Buffett says, right? You know, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. And right now people are greedy. So, price equals people. Leon has been a hell of a swing level in a case study. Yes, he has. You mentioned in the past that the companies need to keep relative value to Apple too, and not just Apple, you know, to one another. They have tighter relationships with things that have more similar fundamentals. But at the end of the day, you know, equity corporations have assets, you know, deal with a certain demographic of people that, you know, depending on what the two companies do, they become more or less comparable. So Apple is, yeah. But Apple being the biggest fucker on the planet and tapped into the, you know, the demographic he's a huge read on a lot of stuff. I don't know what's going on up in there. I seem to have skipped something. Leon, you seen that meme I have where people on the operating table, right? This is how we roll. It's crazy. It's a crazy dynamic, but it works to keep us on the right side. So there's that Shockwave. Let's check some other guys, the other $1 trillion dudes, right? Grab it, line him up to the high of Apple. I don't know. That feels fucking. That feels. Oh, I'm on the wrong time frame. Whoops, it was on hourly when I drew that thing. All right. So there's Apple's wave on Microsoft. I think I fucked it up when I changed time frame. I'll redraw it again. Yeah, it fucked up when I changed time frames. Don't change time frames while you're cutting and pasting a drawing. You. That's not the best version, but you get it. Let's see. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, if you change time frames, it fucks up the scaling of the drawing when you want to do what I just did with it. So, just to kind of show you just how much the market looks like what Apple's doing, it's that bad. And while everyone's like, oh, Microsoft's breaking out. Oh, this stock's breaking out. If Apple's not fucking moving, the broader market's not fucking moving. And you can see this, right? It's rather crazy. But we know there's been a rotation to some industrial guys that have shown better strength. But let's take a look at this, right? This guy's look nothing like Apple. Let's take a Apple structure on him. And we have to line him up with September 1st. About there, you know, close enough. And you can see Apple's waves inside Boeing, right? It's that crazy, isn't it? Isn't that pretty neat? Yeah, no, maybe so. So you're in a moment that you need this to kind of get done. It's a humongous thing, right? This is a humongous shockwave that's really just getting bigger as fucking Boeing trades through it. That's why we said, let this trigger level clear. Let him get the fuck out of here. Because he's just destroying people in this narrow band within this channel. Breakdowns on the channel, some of the thresholds I gave you, real tradable, right? This breakdown 169 is good, and this level is also good for bounces and swings and stuff. But if you're in like higher reses dealing with this, like hours and stuff like that, this range should kill a lot of people, just slicing around like it's doing. The spec Lord of Meow, chopping people's asses, that's right. So this is why the theme of the show is patience, because I know we come in every day and like, what's next to slam? What's next to slam? And a lot of stuff we've talked about that hopefully you've kept track of. But like if you zoom out and you look at what we see here, you can see that like the big stocks that are the ones that are going to move and drag the smaller cap guys and reprice the market. All of them are in a place where everybody's eyes are like, where's my turn? And it needs time. As we go towards the end of the year and towards holidays. And we see this declining, participation of volume for Boeing all the way since fucking COVID. It's just been declining and declining and declining and trapped in a range. As the range gets bigger, we have to evolve it. So we know we drew this potential flag structure, and now we have to evolve that, right? Until the markets give us something that we can act upon, at least at this scale. For any of you guys who play this level I'm on the show, I actually include you in this on the morning that Boeing took off. I saw some of you played into the range, so that was good. And like I said, I'm not going to do like 5-minute and 1-minute charts on a show like this, but hints on the day's events, will allow you to make that decision to do something with this or not. But really good for the people I saw in Telegram that hit Boeing and and some of the DMs that I got for it. But this morning there is some strength in industrials. Let's take this Apple Shockwave and let's look at that. And yeah, I can barely see out his head and stuff. That's why I look all weird. So there's the waveform of Apple, right? There's a high right there. What is that? September 8th? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, about that. So you can still see it. It's still there. If Apple oscillates the other way, he'll drag everything, accordingly. So even the guys who are relatively stronger. So that's the worry, is that Apple's trapped in this range, and you have things like this, chopping significantly important ranges at the same time. All these need to be kept in your purview. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of moving parts, but you have major levels on the things that seem to be stronger. And never take your eyes off Apple. It's the planet. This guy. This is the world index, VT, and he looks pretty interesting sitting up here, right? He looks just like XLI, that he's fully free and clear of any further resistances. But where is the strength of this really showing? Like the stock market itself, the SPY doesn't really look like this. He looks like it, but he's stuck inside of the range that VT's escaped, and that's because in the world basket, who is really fucking generating the move? One sec. I'm at 8:48. I'm not doing bad on time. Damn, that's pretty good. So these are our world stocks, and like I said, where's the real strength? And it's not on this side of the planet. It had been for a little bit. China at higher reses, China does look pretty good. Compared to what we see here, and his previously crazy high ranges, he's worth paying attention to. Same like Japan. Right now, both these guys don't make much headlines. Japan's not making any headlines in COVID. If you think about it, I haven't heard shit about these dudes. What's going on in Tokyo? We got all kinds of headlines from Korea. We know what's going on with some degree in China. But you haven't heard shit about the third largest economy on the planet. What the fuck's going on over there? And some of these guys, like we showed in the show before, we talked about Japan. These guys have structures that don't look like, it's like Apple. He's free and clear, and is a reprice really versus countries at this level. So, still everyone's laser focused on like my piece of Apple, my piece of Tesla, and nobody's looking anywhere else. And this is the time that that you need to recognize that and maybe see where opportunities are that no one else is looking. That's the nature of value. So that's why we pointed out like Japan and stuff like that. We think, this could be represented an interesting opportunity, and no one's talking about this country anymore. They've been a deflationary bust so long, nobody gives a fuck when their markets are strong. But the reality is their markets are strong, and they're worth paying attention to. So, can you check out BCLI for me? Okay. You compare Apple Wave to Alcoa? Sure. You guys like that Apple Wave thing? All right, let's find stop. I changed the fucking time frame, which means I gotta do it again. Hold on. I'm not kidding. This fucking particular mask, I love it, but it cuts the blood off in my fucking ears. If you say Apple, let me get this one sec. Not my best Shockwave. Fucking terrible. Jesus. Alright, let's try that again. Let's see. Stop it. That's right. That's Apple's Wave. Zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. And this is a zone, Does this guy oscillate back here a little bit more before he comes back here and builds a slightly higher floor? Where's the color palette? Does he make a rising structure, and then have a chance to do something out of here? Maybe. But for now, like you can see, like it's everywhere. Everything's kind of trapped in the range that's been set by Apple and Tesla. And that's telling you about the FOMO that's everywhere else that is shared by the people in Apple and Tesla and anybody else sharing the structure. Tesla's big location of jackasses is Battery Day, And you can kind of see it. Like it has like the weight of the world on it, It's just like this is where all the idiots are. And it's just literally created like a fucking suppression on the entire market's ability to progress. And so you're still like, that same Shockwave. You're still, that does not seem right. That looks gigantic. Oh, it's right. I think it is. No, it's not. It keeps changing. Oh, I can't change the scale of the chart either. I forgot that. So whenever you draw it, don't change the zoom of the chart when you want to port it around. Or it'll fuck it up. Everything you do will fuck it up. So if you want to do that, like just keep it in this zoom factor. Draw it over it, and then just hit Control C, Control Z, and then go back to Tesla, and then just paste it without doing anything, and it'll be fine. Yeah, you just can't change the aspect ratios and stuff, and it will be good. So that's Apple's Wave on Tesla, right? That's just what the market's doing. So patience as you head into the holiday season and stuff like that. At least with the guys that you can see here that I'm showing you, the broader tech market. It's not necessarily that healthy, and the fact that so many people are looking for that, the downside days are pretty violent. So there's likely some shorting opportunities present when the VIX is stronger. But as long as we sit up here in the 20s on the VIX, any upside move really warrants looking for the guy that gets risk blown off. He's gonna sell pretty hard because everyone's got really used to the high VIX. But this is not where you're supposed to be for normal risk assumption period. So pumping VIX in north of 21 is always bad. What are we at right now? 8:53. I've actually covered what I wanted to. The theme of the show is patience, and we want to talk about shockwaves and structure and back a few people up from like what button am I hitting today to think a little bit more completely about what you're doing with your planning and stuff like that. And understand that some days, no matter all the planning that you do, you're not going to necessarily find something that fucking says I should do this, I should jump in the market, and that's totally fine. Some of the best trades you'll ever make would be the ones that you didn't do anything. And you have to allow that to be part of your plan too, right? Not every day do you have to smash the button. If there's nothing to play or your plans haven't encapsulated the thing that's actually moving, don't force it. You're just going to make a mistake if you're under pressure to find something when your plans don't work. If you have your plans and they don't trigger, then that's part of what it is. The market's not under any duress to do what you think's supposed to happen. You just have to make a plan to be ready for what it might do. That's it. So I think that's about it. You guys, I got like 5 minutes. You guys can ask me a couple random questions in the chat if you want to before I close it out. a memo show, I guess. Bitcoin, you can look at Bitcoin, and it's just an update on what we've been talking about. What up, Eli? Appreciate the 1420. Yeah, if I don't put Bitcoin up here, right, you guys are gonna have my ass. Okay. I figure we all know what it's doing, and then we've been on top of this pretty well. Whoops, what's that? The BTC. I need to make a highlight video for the announcements we had, but like you know, you're doing Bitcoin things. And remember, this is the season. This is crypto's historically strong season, right? Is the fourth quarter. So he's moving, you know, right on time with that. But yeah, from when we did this show where we showed you the way he was leaving the Shockwave and he began the markup, you know, this was he's been just in trend, and we told you what trigger level would be really safe to play. And this is for people that are more noob and stuff like that. But once you were clear 12-10, this is where he has the ease of movement. And that's why I gave you this level specifically. He was good to play from here and leaving, but that's probably for, you know, people with a little bit more experience and things like that to find their way in the low resolutions to play into this. But I'm always going to give the macro picture for people that, like, you know, you don't have to be a fucking surgeon to get it. The safer place for this guy obviously was like completely like eviscerating the flag structure, and was what I set up here, and then he just insta banger if you played that. So your easy money was up there. But for any of you that like took it like snow, fucking destroyed this thing from in here. It's really good. I've been holding for a minute in here. This is, you know, but we're trying to give you analysis at resolutions that won't get you chopped to pieces. We want you guys running on a 1 minute chart. That's not your safest bet. But like, you know, you let this play come to you, and there's a lot of places you could play. A lot of people freak out like, oh man, I wish I bought it down here. I wish I bought it here. You could have played here just fine and structured a great R&R play and played this through. You don't have to have it at any particular price point to have a good risk reward structure, you know. A lot of people don't understand risk reward. Like, you know, if you're gonna play, like, just say I'm gonna buy here and I'm gonna sell here, and this is your range, you know, and I know it's ridiculous, it's like, you know, a fucking 2,000 point range or whatever. Even you can take a set of units where I'm not going to lose in Bitcoin. I don't want to lose more than $50 for this entire range. It doesn't matter where you define that, you know. If you define it up in this guy and it's like, I'm gonna buy in here and I'm gonna sell down here, and I don't want to lose $50. Right? Your risk reward is, what do I risk and what do I make out of it? That's established anywhere. It doesn't have to be fucking specifically here. A guy who does this and fucking gets this run doesn't really have the R&R that this guy has. It's not really about where it is. It's just how you structure this regarding the wave. That's it. So it's not like you have to have the tip of this to have a good trade. You just have to make X times what you risked wherever the fuck you entered. So, you know, the buy low, sell high thing, always remember, you know, today's high can be tomorrow's low. So buy low and sell high is a matter of perspective. Hindsight TA is not how you recognize what low is. Oh, FTU, Deacon. Somebody asked that already. Let's see, FUTU. Daily. Why is this a fractal? Because they both have one vicious markup that looks alike to you? Like, nothing about these charts look alike. I think too many people are in a rush to use the word fractal. QZ Dub, appreciate you, Chief. Vito, you didn't trade, you didn't see anything? No worries. Dark AG, that's I know a lot of people that are new watching this don't exactly know all the different stuff that, you know, we talk about, but did my picture go blurry? What the fuck am I seeing right now? Okay, my fucking screen thing is doing crazy things. Alright, so 20 bombs what I saw the most votes for. I didn't see anybody else say anything else, so I think we're going to probably end up unlocking 20 bomb. Pinterest, I told you guys I would help you like look at this thing. Let's see, what's Pinterest doing? I forgot to go in here. Turn this shit off. I'm not sure where the page is. Where the fuck is everything on here? Okay, that was weird. Why do I like Pinterest so much? It's a great visual database of stuff to search things. So the stuff in trading, I know everybody goes here and says, is this all your secret archives? These are not all mine. The ones that are mine, you can tell, right? These are mine. They show where they came from. In these, they're just ideas, because not that I use these things, but it helps you to understand the way other people think about things, right? We trade against people's perceptions. And so you understand what people believe about price. So many of these things are just because some are useful in different ways than you think. You know, candlestick patterns, like this stuff. To me, you have to be fucking missing a couple fucking chromosomes to think this makes any fucking sense. Because a candlestick obviously will look different in different time frames, right? It captures a waveform, and most people don't think twice about it. What's really cool about Pinterest, right, when you see something like this, so one, not everything in here is used the way you're thinking. It allows you to see the way many people look at markets and approach it. This thing in the corner is the best visual scanner. Like, it's Google, but visual. So you can take, what is this? Not now, get out of here. So you can take this window, and whatever you search, it finds pictures like it. It's really cool. This is what I've zoomed to is a lot of text. Let's get a better picture, I guess. Let's see if you can find something on my these guys here. No, where'd it go? Let's see what it does with this thing. I'm curious. Huh, well, I guess it finds colorful things. But yeah, it's a picture search. Let's see what it does with this guy. So that's not exactly that. Probably it's too much craziness for what it's trying to figure out in there, but it searches things that are similar by visual. And I use that to actually move around and find all kinds of other things that are in these folders. You know, when you look at it, you can just like use it to find other patterns and stuff like that. So that's how I use it, to just sculpt around and see what other people think of price structures and how they interpret it. That's about it though. See, so it's a really cool, like, you know, visual searching tool. You take it and you run through it and do that. And so I make collections of, you know, ideas that I think are interesting. So really fast way to search visually is what Pinterest is. Definitely underutilized. A lot of people think this is for girls, and it's totally not. You know, a lot of the memes and like thought processes that I post a lot are sitting in here. My memes of wisdom. So these are all ideas and things that, like, you know, supplement what I do, and just ways to think about a thing differently. All this is geared towards that. I like this one. We are all time travelers in a sense. We enter a new timeline with every choice we make or refuse to make. We alter time with every movement, thought, and emotion. They are all ripples in the cosmic sea of energy. I have a slight variation to that idea, but it's still pretty cool. So yeah, that's Pinterest. So we covered everything that you guys wanted, right? So patience, guys, and, you know, check out some of the older stuff in Insta and Pinterest and stuff like that. The stuff that I author, you know, Shockwaves and things, help you to understand the way the market moves, right? You know, you go from markup to Shockwave to markup to Shockwave, and that's all the market does: high volatility, low volatility to high volatility. And those two different conditions, it capture the emotional structure of what's inside both of those, you know, different sides of the market. Pinterest equals buy. Well, we put pins on here for you guys to pay attention to that. So you should have gotten a great play with him in Snapchat. We did that play for you guys. So this is from down there. So if you follow this, and the whole time we had put pins and outlined this entire play from you from a while ago, down in the 20s. Snap also, right? Snap was a good one. And he's in Shockwave now. Where are my drawings for Snap? We talked about this, but I don't see any of my drawings for Snap. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking chart. I'm like, what the fuck? That was the pin chart I made, but I didn't publish. Let's see what I have on the pin chart over here. Sorry. This was the one. We talked about the expanding formation. So, yeah, if you played this, we drew this out for you guys. And he was, you know, showed you where a bull flag was likely to happen. It happened, and he fucking exploded. And then Snap was the same deal. We talked about these socials being away from the political fray of what Twitter and Facebook were doing. That was that situation. So, these are good. This is a good trigger level on the short down and on the way up. So for those that you played Snap, I know a few of you did. Congrats, it was a good play. But yeah, that will be it. Real Nomics, patience. Hope you guys learned a lot today. Quantum superposition. That's a conversation for another day, Kivo. But yeah, make sure you review this. Check out older streams if you're new. You only have to follow the show to watch the live show. But if you ever want to research any of the older stuff, you voted for Yogi's Love, huh? You remember that one? I think 20 Bombs got you guys beat today. I saw that one the most. But yeah, check this one out. Review the stuff. Check out older stuff in YouTube. Just because it's not fucking from this year doesn't mean it's not useful and not applicable to today. And you know, dig through Pinterest, dig through Insta. There's all kinds of goodies for you guys to use. You don't have to pay $1 for it, but you do have to spend your time, you know, improving yourself. So, had fun. Happy Friday, 13th. Y'all be safe out there. Till the next one. Peace.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.